Yes, I dyed and cut my hair again. At this point, if I don't look different in every video, I have a lot of mental breakdowns, okay? Hi guys! So after my last bullet journal video, I got a lot of messages telling me that it was great and they loved it. And by the way, thank you so much. My sole purpose on this platform is to inspire you guys. So if you remember, I showed you how I start my bullet journal and the spreads I like to make. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, there's still time. I will put a link in the description somewhere, or like here or here, I don't know. But apart from that, I also got a lot of questions about how I really use it daily. So today I'm showing you how I really use my bullet journal daily. Stay tuned for the end of this video because I will answer some of your questions and give you some productivity tips. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So this is my setup. Hi! As usual, I'm using my favorite black gel pen from Muji and other props like my ruler. I like to start up my month with some kind of art form. Usually I like to do collages, as you can see from my past bullet journals right here. And since I just started this one, I thought I would go with a new approach and challenge myself creatively to paint. Those are the last two spreads that I did, which I loved, and this time, since it's November and National Novel Writing Month, I want to include that writing part in also, so I decided to use both by painting on a collage. I know, it's the first time I do that, but it's so exciting. I don't know. So what I'm doing is I'm taking craft paper that I saved from a grocery bag and a page of a really old book that I only use to tear it out. Don't worry though, I take care of my other books religiously. So I chose to paint a giraffe because I didn't have any inspiration and I just looked at my shirt. So I thought the color and the print of the animal would look great on the already like yellowish old paper. And honestly, I'm quite proud of myself. Look at that. So good. If you want to skip that step, it's totally fine. A bullet journal is made to suit you. If you're already overwhelmed by just having a bullet journal, I would definitely recommend to start simple. On the left page, I took the habit of drawing a little cloud where I'll put the month's name in, and below I draw the tiniest calendar just so I can have an overview of the month. My calendar page used to be so much bigger, but since 2020 decided otherwise, I decided to go minimalistic. While it dries, I'm having a little snack because I was dumb enough to start filming without eating first. Doesn't that look good? Yes. Oh, by the way, I found that the head of my giraffe was so ugly, so I just covered it with some paper and I'm gonna add things on here. Yeah. When that's done, I can also come back to my page. I just have to color a dot on the important dates, and then underneath I can write what happens. So not much for now, as you can see. I don't even have birthdays to write in there. Sorry, Scorpio babes, I don't have much affinity with you, apparently. Anyway, since I covered my ugly giraffe's face, I decided to use this blank space to note down my goals for this month as something to help me push my limits and also remind myself of how I want to progress. Once in a while, it really helps to actually achieve those goals because you can see them every time you look at your schedule. And if they're not close to finish by the end of the month, you don't like that. Down below, I also put a future log in case I think of things to assign next month or in a larger scale of time. Anyway, so once you've done that, we can move on to some trackers. I use habit trackers to focus on things I value to do each day, like drink enough water, or read, but I also needed to notice any pattern. So I used to track whenever I posted content on Instagram or YouTube, for example, but since I didn't post anything for a few months, it did nothing but make me sad. And so I changed it, because that's what's great with bullet journaling. You can do whatever you want with it and make it your own. So usually the first line I use to track things that I need to do every day, like every single day, that is crucial to my survival. So drink enough water. If I exercise, so I try to do that at least 3 times a week, or like at least once. And then I also try to sleep 8 hours a day. So I track that, if I sleep okay, if I don't sleep okay, if I sleep too much, if I don't sleep enough. Anyway, the second line I use to track things I really have to do, or that I really want to do at least every day. So I try to write every day, especially in November, because it's novel writing month. And I'm writing a novel, if you didn't know. So I use that to track myself, and also to like give me a little push. I do the same thing for reading, and to complete my e-courses, because I have e-courses and I don't like to make my own schedule because I can never follow it. So yeah, that's what I use this tracker for. And on the last line, I use it to like keep track of the activities I think there's a pattern in. So now I track how many times I wash my hair in a month, if I've been seeing my friends. Because France is getting reconfined, I want to keep track of that too. And last but not least, if I'm being creative, that tool is really helpful for me. I go back to it every single day, twice a day even. Those trackers can push you to start working more on those, because you want to fill that box so bad. Like, the goal is to have them all covered. On the next page is kind of the same theme, I would say. I divide my page in 3 parts: things I have to do, the things I want to read, and the movies or shows I want to see. It helps me keep track of what I actually do with my month, because I watch so many shows, for example, that I don't even remember what shows I watched and when. So yeah, that helps me for that. On this page, I wanted to concentrate on my personal projects. So I have currently 3, I guess. The left page is dedicated to my photography and videography. So there's a space for that now. And on the right page, as usual, I'm drawing a word count thingy again, because as I've told you for like the 3rd time in this video already, November is National Novel Writing Month, and I really want to progress on my novel. Now that we've done all of this, we can concentrate on the weekly spreads. Yay! I think that's what you all want to see most, is how I do it. And how I use it, because that's the most like useful part of it. So this is actually the main part of your bullet journal. It is what you use it for. Before I start showing you what I do, I want to clarify that for my weekly spreads, I try to explore with the new one every single month to find the one that works best for me. So I would recommend you do that too. It's one thing to copy someone else's spread, but if it doesn't suit you or your way of life, you would not be able to use it as much as you want and as well as you need. Last month, I tried a minimalist grid layout, and although I sometimes thought it was too small and looked more crowded than clear, I think I'm gonna keep this system because I didn't really have any problem with it, like any real problem. So thanks to my grid spacing page that we did in the last video, I'm just dividing my page in 9 squares, and I leave the first and the last one for a this week and next week panel. And again, same thing as the monthly overview, I use this space to write things I absolutely need to do that week or for the next, but I don't really have a specific deadline for. I just know that I want to do them that week. And then each day you can just fill it with your to-do list, with your tasks. I try to do my spreads every Sunday for the next week, so I can like move things, and then I just fill it in. So basically for this week, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I can just go back to my monthly calendar where I wrote the important things that were happening, so I can transpose that onto my weekly spread. Most of you who are still in school or that are studying or working I would just recommend you write your classes in there, your to-do lists, birthdays, whatever. Once you've done that, you can start your month. That's it. That was easy, right? So easy. Anyway, sorry for the light change. It's getting pretty dark here. It's November, winter stuff. Now, before I put an end on this video, I can still answer some of your questions. Here they go. So someone asked me, now that I planned everything, how do I really use it daily? How do you ritualize it? My answer to that, my friend, is to make it a habit. There is no other way. You have to make it part of your routine. I try to actually use my journal at least once or twice a day, in the morning when I wake up and at night before I go to bed. When I finish my morning routine, I like to have an overview of everything I have to do that day and prepare myself mentally to prioritize. And at night, before I go to sleep, that's when I check everything I did that day. If I missed a task, I can reschedule it for the next day, whenever it's free and possible. And that's also when I cross out all the habit trackers and write my to-do list for the next day on top of what's already there. Also, just like a regular to-do list, if I forgot to cross off any tasks that I did during the day, I do that at that time too. It's that easy. And also, to make it a habit and not forget anything, because that happens, I often spend a week, or not a week, maybe 3 or 4 days is my maximum without touching it. And then I just, panic and I don't really know how I can make it up. I have another tip for you. Bring the notebook everywhere with you. Everywhere, and I mean it. I want you to put it in your bag at all times. Even if you're going to the cafe with your friends, even if you're going to school, even if you're staying at home, I want you to keep it in sight all the time. That's when you will be drawn to it at some point. Someone else told me that when they spend time on their bullet journal, it feels like they're procrastinating. So let me tell you something. We all do. It's not a secret. For example, I like to make my bullet journal pretty. So I willingly spend 2 hours each Sunday or each month drawing and sticking things inside there just to make it look pleasing to my eye. And some might call that procrastination, but it's not. Because as I've been saying through this entire video, you have to make your bullet journal yours. When you have a product that is appealing to your eye and that you spend so much time on, you want to keep going back. Eventually, it's just a tool to help you. But if it seems boring to you, then what use would you have of it? You would not want to open it, right? You remember school agendas? It's the same principle. You had a daily one, daily to-do list, daily homework, and I used to never use it. I just put the assignment in class when the teacher would tell it, and then I would never open it again. I don't know how I got that far into my education, but yes, that's what I did. Because it wasn't appealing to me. I didn't want to open that because it was just blank page with homework. This time with this, you have a weekly view of what you have to do, so you can move things around, you can, personalize it and delay, cancel, whatever. But the most important thing is that you can make it appealing to you. You make it adaptable. And there's a lot of ways you can do a spread, as I told you. Some people like it simple, some people like it big, some people add things to it, glitter, images, whatever you want. Really, you can go crazy on this. It can even be just write your homeworks in, or you can plan out your whole life, your traveling, your budget, expenses, whatever you need, you can put it in there. That's what's amazing with this. I don't know what to tell you more. But that's how do you finish it? Well, first of all, I must say that I also struggle with that a lot. And to say I love stationery and writing and everything is an understatement. I have more journals and notebooks than I could ever need. Most of them are untouched. And the ones I started are not finished, and they will never will be. The last bullet journal I had is actually the first notebook I actually finished. So how did I manage that? Well, my bullet journal is not only planning tool, it's also anything I want it to be. Right? I keep saying that, but that's the whole point. So I don't only use it like weekly planners. I can do monthly, I can do yearly, I can do future log, I can do drawings, poems, whatever. I put sticky notes in there, I draw, I write lists, glue cards, pictures, and I also sometimes use it as a diary. Or you can just do like monthly spreads until there's no space left. That's how you finish a notebook. You can do everything. I know it's so hard to feel like you have your life together right now, and we don't know how it's gonna change anytime soon. It's all very weird. But I promise that once you find that balance, it will all go better. So don't worry about things like, oh, am I gonna be able to finish my spread this week? Just do what you want. Make it pretty. Make it useful. Make mistakes. My bullet journal is one of the only things that make me feel like I have a sense of routine anymore. It brings me a little peace. Don't put any more pressure on yourself than you already have. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine. You will be happy looking back no matter what. Oh my god, that got really sappy all of a sudden. And it's getting dark. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop this video here. I really hope with all my heart that I answered all your questions and that I helped you breathe for a second. Hopefully it cleared some things in your mind, and if you have any more questions, I will be happy to answer them in another video or on social media. You can contact me whenever on YouTube comments and on Instagram DMs. Yeah, you got this. Promise, you got this. Take care.